Oh, I'll return it eventually. But in the back of the book, they have a particular glossary. This glossary must be almost 200 years old, 200 pages long. I can do with that glossary in just a couple of days what no one could do in a couple of months. This is why it's the esoteric version. You can look up the Illuminati in it, Satan, Lucifer being God, and all that. All you have to do is just check the glossary. It'll be there by subject matter, and it'll tell you where to find it. How many people know this map? This is the original map of 1790 of Washington, D.C. And when I look at some of these old materials, I really get a laugh. I mean, you notice over here, someone couldn't spell Potomac correctly, so they had to cross out the W. Up here, someone accidentally put the Congressional House where the Capitol was supposed to be. It's going to be somewhere around here. So they just crossed it out and scratched in Capitol. Even back then, just as today, they were having educational problems. I'm going to take a regular tourist map, and I'm going to show you something very interesting. You will notice, and I was only able to do part of it. I could have done the whole thing, but you will notice that Washington, D.C. is laid out in an occult symbolic pattern. These are all symbols that can be found in the occult world. The set over here are from the Masonic occult religion. The ones over there is from the Illuminati one. Now, if you notice this one in particular, looks like a satanic stick figure, doesn't it? And it's a good thing it's made up of streets, because this is about the best I could draw anyways. All these are, where these lines are nothing but roads, and they connect to certain monuments. Over here is the Jefferson Memorial, the White House, the Washington Monument, the Capitol. Where the left horn is would be the Supreme Court. On the right-hand side would be the Library of Congress. But if you notice, those are roads. Why would someone accidentally make roads that look like horns? This particular symbol itself, this satanic stick figure, is made up of 3 of the 4 most holiest of all symbols in the occult world. Where the arms come down and go up, that is known as a square in the Masonic world. You notice where the circle is and it comes down to what looks like legs. That's a compass. We all know what a compass is used for. And where the line is broken up, where I broke it up, this is what's known as the measure. But again, notice how it forms this satanic stick figure, and it goes straight through, mind you, one of the most powerful streets, politically speaking, in the world. This section is known as the Mall. Now, when we look at the other figure, I'm sure we've all seen the inverted 5-pointed star before. Notice how the compass comes right over here to the White House, and the inverted pentalpha, or what's known as the goat head of Mendes, or the mezzanine goat head, converges at the White House also. It connects from Mount Vernon to Logan Circle, to DuPont Circle, to Washington Circle, and just meets right back here. And if all you have to do is, again, just connect the roads, and it makes a symbol. This shows the unionization of the Masonic world with the Illuminati one. You will notice that square green block up there. That place is what's known as the House of the Temple. If you wish to become a 33rd degree Mason, or what's known as a Sovereign Grand Instructor General, You have to go there to have it performed. That is the headquarters for Masonry worldwide. And it's no coincidence that from the White House all the way up to the House of the Temple, it's exactly 13 city blocks. Funny how this number keeps repeating itself. Now, just to show you this will work with any tourist map, I have another one here that I'd like you to take a look at. It's nothing special. Once again, it's just a regular tourist map. Again, the Capitol, here is Pennsylvania Avenue, Maryland Avenue, the White House, Thomas Jefferson Memorial, the Mall, the Washington Monument, the House of the Temple, and if you notice, the goat head of Mendes again, both converging at the White House. Now, a lot of people have asked me, how long has this been going on? In other words, how long have the Illuminati placed their seat of power in America? How long has it been here? When we take a look, once again, at the original map of Washington, D.C., you will notice the symbols are right there. This is the map of 1790. You will notice the Masonic symbols, which make up the Satanic figure, the inverted pentalpha, and 13 blocks away already from the White House to the House of the Temple, 13 city blocks. It was already there. When they first designed Washington, D.C., they had laid it out to where it would form these occult patterns. I think by now it becomes apparent that this can't be an accident, especially when we consider that these are known occult symbols. Now, one last piece of proof I would like to demonstrate to you before we get into this even deeper. If you recall, the pyramid that's on the back of the dollar bill, correct? Starting at the base of the pyramid, the foundation, this is where all things begin. You will notice the only letter this symbol is touched, I should say runs through, the only letter through here is the M. Over here, you will notice that the only letter or number that is outside of it is the 1, correct? Well, that's why it's May 1st, 1776. But it goes further than that. The only letter that this goes through is the M. We will start at the foundation, which is the beginning of all things. From the M, the symbol goes all the way up to, it cuts over underneath the capstone to, it cuts straight down, goes between these letters, and cuts down to. Now, it cuts up, and it's difficult to see in black and white, but it cuts over the symbol to the, what does M-A-S-O-N spell? Could it be an accident? I don't think after everything we've already seen it could be, especially when it's spelling Mason out perfectly, in perfect order, M-A-S-O-N. By this time, I think we would have to say to ourselves, it's impossible that it's an accident. Going into the Masons themselves, in order to understand the true occult nature of their system, what we're going to do is go through their own books. Throughout the last 18 years, some of the most commonly asked questions I've been asked is what we're going to go over right now. One of those questions people usually ask me, is Freemasonry or the Masons, are they a Christian organization?